We are working on the Connect 4 project from the YByte Python curriculum available at www.ybyte.in. Having set up the game board, having set up the list called board, which is in perfect, let's say, coordination, in perfect sync with this, the game board. Now it's time to move forward. Like we discussed earlier, we are going to write two very important functions, which will then be used for the gameplay. So the function we are going to write in this video is this function, which will tell us the lowest available row in a given column. Now let's first understand this pictorially, because then the idea is clear. Remember, the way the game gets played is that the player basically drops a coin from the top, let's say from any of these columns, and the coin goes all the way down to, let's say, the lowest available row. So for example, if the coin was to be dropped on this column, it will go all the way till here and it'll stop here. Well, because there's nowhere else to go. Now, in a physical board, that happens because of, let's say, gravity, and then it stops for the reaction forces and so on. But here obviously we got to emulate that situation. What we are going to do is that we will find out for a given column what is the, let's say, the lowest row. Just take with example. For example, here in this column, the lowest row is 3, because remember it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the row indexing. For, let's say, this column over here, the lowest row is 1. And for this column, for example, the lowest row is 4. It turns out also that if all the columns are full, then I'm going to return lowest row of, let's say, -1. That's just my definition. Now, obviously, all the computation will happen on our list of list board. So what I will do is that I will look at, let's say, the specific column. I will try to look at it from the reverse side. I will try to see where is it that I see the first 0. Because, if I see from bottom and if I see the first 0, let's say right here, that means that the entire column is empty. The lowest row is 5. On the other hand, if I start seeing from, let's say, here, remember this is row 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if I start at 5, I don't see a 0. If I start, then I go to 4, then I go to 3, I find a 0, and hence my lowest row is 3. In this particular case, I have got all columns full, and hence the lowest row is -1. When I translate this to code, it's not too hard. I will start with an initialization of -1, because like I said, once the row is full, I just return -1. I will look at it in the reverse order. That's why the range is going from n rows -1 to, let's say, -1 and -1. So basically start stop step. So, I start from this point, I go all the way to -1, which basically means I will use 0 as the last item and in steps of -1. And if I find that that particular column, this row is 0, well, that's my lowest available row. I will break because I found my empty row. Let's see this working, then it becomes more clear. So I just define a new function over here. Let's say I just call it, uh, say def, say lowest uh, row in a given column. So I pass column as an argument. And like I said, I'm going to set a variable to, let's say, -1, just initialize it to -1. And I'm going to look at this whole matrix in the reverse order. So I just go and say for kk in range. Notice this range is going n rows -1 in steps of, so until -1 in steps of -1. Start stop step, range goes exactly same as that. And what I'm trying to ask myself is that, okay, look, if board, let's say kk, and column, remember it's always row and column. So I'm looking at that specific row index in that given column. If that is equal to a 0, it means that the cell is empty. I can just say, well, R is equal to kk, and I can break this because I found my lowest row. I don't need to go any further. Having done this, and be careful with the indentation, I am going to return, let's say, an R. So essentially, the return statement must not be part of the for loop, obviously. So I run this for loop. If it breaks, I return that value of R. If it doesn't break, if I reach all the way to the top, it basically means that, my R has to be -1 because all the rows are in fact full. So when I run this piece of code, of course, if I, let's say, display my board right now, it's all zeros. I can draw the board to confirm. In fact, it's all empty circles. If I were to, let's say, look at the lowest row in, let's say, column number 0, I expect it to give me 5 because, well, that's column number 0. Indeed, it is 5. Let's say I, try the same thing for, let's say, on column number 3. Again, it will be 5. But now we can populate the board list a little bit so that, we can see what's going on. So I just go and say board, let's say 5, 1 is equal to say 1, and say board, let's say 5, say 4 1 is equal to say for example 2. So it's basically saying, look, on the first column, fill up row number 1, row number 5, sorry, with let's say a 1, and row number 4 with the 2. So if I were to do this and I draw the board now, um, notice these two rows have been filled. If I were to look at the lowest row now in, let's say, column number 1, I expect to see a 543 over here, and indeed that's what I see. So basically this is the lowest row available in, let's say, column 1. In fact, I can do further with this. I can, let's say, fill up the entire column. So if I were to go and do that, let's say, I also go and fill say, so maybe I'll fill up everything. So 3 1 is, let's say, 1. Board number 4, say board say 2 1 is, say for example 2, doesn't really matter. But let's say I fill up this entire thing. So now when I draw board, for instance, that is, so almost the entire column has been filled. So if I were to look at the lowest row right now, it should give me a 0. In fact, it does. And let's say I go and further fill this up. So I just go and say, well, let's say 0 1 is also say 2. If I draw the board, I see that the column has been entirely filled. So when I look at the lowest row now for column 1, it is -1, but of course for any other column it is going to be 5. So I hope the idea is clear. We are doing this so that we can emulate that sense that the coin is dropping from the top and stopping wherever the row is available. In fact, this will turn out to be a very useful function later on, and we will see how it's used in the player as well as the computer. I hope you found this interesting. In general, our learning style is to build activities because activities make the concepts much more clearer. Look at our website www.ybyte.in because we always learn Python programming through such fun activities. Take care. Thank you so much. Enjoy programming.